Hey y'all, it's me, Ms. Lizzie, bringing you that YouTube exclusive content, and today we are delving into the standard format on MTG Arena. The deck you see before you is a brand new creation of mine. As I'm sure you know, the bans went through this past week. Vivi is banned, Screaming Nemesis is banned, and Profs is banned. This all means that the format is much less powerful than it was before, and honestly, I really have no idea what to do in it, so this is just the first thing that I'm trying. What this deck focuses on is generating value with blink effects such as Spectral Restitching, such as Fortune Loyal Seed, and such as Charming Prince. We are using these two blink warp creatures. The Quantum Riddler and the Shepherd are the two best, and also a little bit of value engines with Jill Shiva's Dominant, which is essentially a Mana War, and Lightstall Inquisitor to try and disrupt just that little bit. Aside from that, we've got a bunch of interaction for Get Lost to Flood Maw, and a couple value things to do. Grab off the Starfield Shepherd, cast for X equals a lot, and draw a bunch of cards with the Ingenious Prodigy. There's also 2 copies of Enduring Innocence, just in case we need to get the engine going another way. It's nice to always have a plan B in a deck like this, in case that your opponent has a ton of interaction. So, that's kind of what we're doing. Blue-white mana bases in Standard are not exceptional. We have some Fabled Passages, we have some Starting Towns, we have some Multiversal Passages. These are not awesome lands to play, but they are what we have to do to make blue-white mana work. At least we get Restless Anchorage, which is certainly one of the best mana lands of all time, so that's not too bad. In the sideboard, we've got a bunch of deterrents for various strategies. Like I said, I really have no idea what's going on in this format after the bans. I don't know what people are playing, so this is just my best guess. A couple Aegis Turtles, they're findable off the Starfield Shepherd and could block some big red creatures if people are doing that. A bunch of counter magic. I like that we get to play No More Lies in our sideboard. I think it's a really powerful card, and it'll help out a lot against combo decks and control decks. Same with Detect Intrusion. A couple Exercise in case people are dusting off the old Unholy Annexes. I suspect that's a card that a lot of people are going to want to go back to, and so we have a couple answers for that. Some Rest in Peace for graveyard decks, some Beza, again, for those aggro decks that could be lurking, and a couple Elspeth, just as sort of a haymaker in mid-range and control matchups that can take over the game easily on its own. So that's the deck, and let's get into the games. Loading into match 1 against Aruka. We're on the draw with blue-white blink, and let's have a look. So we got a couple lands, we got some interaction, we got a fortune. Looks fine to me. If we don't draw another land, we'll probably hit the Fabled Passage on turn 1. Otherwise, Multiversal Passage could be good. Alright, yes, I think we will go Fabled Passage and pass the turn. Inspiring Vantage could be some kind of red-white aggro. That would be my best guess. Maybe Convoke is back? Well, actually, the only Convoke card rotated, so I guess that would surprise me. But you never know. We drew a Starfield Shepherd. Do I want to just fire that off? No. I think I'm okay to leave up Get Lost here. I really don't know what they're going to try to do. Maybe they have like a Resolute Reinforcements type card they're going to flash in. I don't think fetching a 1-drop here really matters in the grand scheme, so yeah, I'm just going to pass with Get Lost up, and we'll see. Just Lightning Helix to my dome. Interesting. Shock my face. Alright. I guess it's just like a Boros Burn situation. Well, I'm going to get Enduring Innocence on the battlefield. Maybe it gains us a bit of life. That would be nice. We do have the 4 Charming Princes, which can gain 3 life, so I suspect those will be pretty good in this matchup, if we can find them. They do go for the shock to prevent the life gain, makes sense. I think if they can't establish like an actual threat here, we're probably going to do okay. Alright, they have a Nova Hellkite, interesting. We are at 9. Starting Town is the draw. I think we'll go for Fortune. If we can scry into... Yeah, I think we want to scry first. If we can scry into Charming Prince, that'll be excellent. I'm not super excited about either of these cards, I don't think. I already have a Shepherd. Tap land doesn't really do me any good. Let's bottom both of those. Draw another Fortune. Right. I mean, also not great, but getting slightly worried about our life total. This is perhaps the Sunspine Link's coming down. Slag Storm to deal 3 to each opponent, or each player. Interesting. Okay, well, Yeah, I think we're going to just go ahead and blink our Starfield Shepherd with the Fortune. Probably gonna grab a Plains first of all, and then see. We can leave up a bunch of interaction this turn, which is nice. They have one card left, so currently their hand, there's no way that it could kill us. I don't think there's a card that does 6. And yeah, we will blink this. Hopefully, maybe they have a shock. Either way, it's fine. And then draw a card off the Innocence and leave up some interaction. I suspect they might be holding a shock. Alright, so we want to scry, then draw, then search. Jill, not too useful. Yeah, none of these are good. We're just looking for Charming Prince. I just want to gain life. That's all. Another starting town. Alright. There's not too much point to Light Squall Inquisitor here. Because they only have one card in hand already, and it will just die to the Nova Hellkite coming down, so I think I'll just grab another Plains. We are going to have to discard here, but that's okay. Starting town is really not very exciting, so that's fine. So if they do have a shock, then I'll just be a Boros Charm away from dying. They do go for the Burst Lightning. So let's see. Boros Charm off the top, or do we get to keep playing? Alright, 3 damage to each player. I am at 1. Fair enough. I think on... Oh, that was a mistake. What I meant to do was flicker my Fortune so that I could draw a card and scry 2, because I really just want to find Charming Prince. But I accidentally went straight to the end step, so now it would come back in my end step, which is not too helpful in the grand scheme. So I guess we're just going to my turn. Alright. So yeah, this is fine. We'll probably just crew with the Starfield Shepherd again and try to draw into that Charming Prince. I suppose... No. I was thinking I could play the Ingenious Prodigy first, but I want to scry before I draw. So yeah, it's okay. Let's just go ahead and do this. Really gotta gain that life. We're at a very precarious life total. So, yeah. Scry, then draw, then search. Come on, Charming Prince, where are you? And here... Probably just grab Mockingbird. How much is it? How much could we play this Prodigy for if I wanted to? Probably would want to do it for X equals 3. I think so. Lets us leave up Get Lost and Restitching. And while we're here, I'm going to put a stop in my opponent's second main phase so that I have the option to go for the Restitching if I want to. And let's see. Are they going to kill us? It's a Nova Hellkite. Alright. So we will survive. It's an interesting question of how I want to deal with this. I could Flood Mod, I could Get Lost it. I think I would rather Flood Mod than Get Lost, because they do have 2 of them now, so it's kind of the same thing. But another option I have is just to block with Starfield Shepherd and then go for the Restitching on my Fortune. Because I think that if we find the Charming Prince and can gain a bunch of life here, like, we're just going to win very easily. So I think that's actually my best line, is just jump with Starfield Shepherd this turn. Use my Restitching to blink my Fortune and just try to hit that Prince. Scry 2, draw a card. We have found the Charming Prince. That is very good. I think that the game will now end. I will draw a card with my Prodigy, why not? And the only thing that could get us now is accidentally tapping the starting town for colored mana, so let's do our best to avoid that. Gain 3 life. And then I can also do something kind of cute here where I will warp a Quantum Riddler. And then attack. Link the Charming Prince. And then we will gain 3 with this Charming Prince. Another Charming Prince, sure. These are both fine, I think. And then while we're here, copy the Charming Prince. And blink the Quantum Riddler. And now we're at 7. They have no cards in hand. We should win this here. Alright. Took game 1 against red-white aggro. In terms of sideboarding, certainly I want Beza. Beza seems excellent. Just more life gain. What's interesting is I didn't see any creatures from them except for Nova Hellkite. I don't know if I should assume that they have no creatures. But for now, I think Aegis Turtle could stay on the board. That said, Light Stall Inquisitor is really bad. So I might just swap those out for Aegis Turtle on the off chance that it does have something to block. I suspect, like, surely they would have Emberheart Challenger or something like that. It is nice to know that Screaming Nemesis will never be a problem, being that it is banned. So all my life gain cards will always work. So that's really nice. You know, maybe you could go for, like, Normalize or Detect Intrusion or something, but I think it's too narrow, and our game plan is already pretty decent against them, so I think we're going to run it like this. Alright, opening hand looks fine. We have some interaction, we have some life gain. Yeah, looks okay to me. Okay, Clockwork Percussionist. That one I can't say I expected. So I think our line here is to probably play Passage on blue. And then we're going to play Starting Town on turn 3. Just to try to avoid taking damage. It could work out poorly if we draw like other lands that are better to play than the town, but I think the upside is worth it. Bolt Wave me down to 15 this turn. I mean, this is pretty awesome. 2 mana, 2/2, gain 3 life. Like, can't imagine a better card against a burn deck. So opponent does have a Count on Luck, which is at the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of your library. You may play it this turn. I'm not too thrilled about that, so I think this turn I will bounce it. And then, assuming they're just going to replay it, I can keep bouncing it with Charming Prince and stuff, or I could go for the Get Lost on it. A lot of options there. I do think it is the kind of card we want to keep off the battlefield, as it threatens to keep up with our life gain. If they can just find enough burn spells with it. And yeah, I'm going to block here. I would rather they have some random card than this one on the battlefield, so there we go. They hit a Boros Charm. That could deal me 4. That's fine. They go for 3 damage on my Jill. Honestly, I didn't expect that. But let's play Enduring Innocence. We will take a damage here. I think it's fine. Let's play our tap land. And then next turn we can start double spelling. And that should be really nice. Down comes the Count on Luck. This is interesting. They just didn't cast the Boros Charm. I wonder why they prioritized killing my Jill there. I didn't think that she was threatening too much, but I don't know. I guess they thought she was. So I think I'm going to start with Charming Prince, gain 3 life and draw a card here. Another land, and then I think I'll go for Get Lost on the Count on Luck. And just attack for 2. Save the Prodigy to play it for a lot more. I'd like to get it out of the range of their burn spells. That plus the Restless Anchorage is pretty good, I would say. They just have another Count on Luck, so yeah. Let's attack for 4, play Prodigy for 5. It won't trigger our Innocence, but I think it's okay. They are drawing 2 cards a turn now, but we have a much better board than them, and we are at 23. So I suspect we are going to be able to beat this. 4 damage to me. Pass the turn. Okay. I will draw cards with my Prodigy. Well, Quantum Riddler seems like a good one. Let's attack. Let's cast a Quantum Riddler. Just gonna hard cast this. No need to get cute with the warping, I don't think. Opponent is at 6. Just want to get them dead. And I guess we will warp this Shepherd as well. And let's grab the Aegis Turtle just to make a statement. Another 4 damage to my face, but now I'm at 17. I don't see how they could win unless they pull something out of their sleeve, like a, I don't know, a board wipe here or something. Like a Wrath of God. Oh, well, there you go. They did have a split up. They are still dead to my Anchorage, though. So let's not mess around. Let's just take them down. Good games. Oh, how the mighty red decks have fallen. Loading into match 2 against Cell 21. We are on the draw yet again with blue-white blink. 1-0 so far. Hand is not acceptable. I mean, 1 land. It's not even a good land. Send it back. And this looks more reasonable. We have some interaction. We have our sort of combo here with the Fortune and the Riddler. So we probably keep this and put back the Mockingbird so that we can find it later when we actually want it. Opponent has a Forest and a Patchwork Beastie, okay? So some form of Delirium deck. Yep, red-white. or red-green Violent Urge. We've seen this before. It's pretty good. Yeah, I could definitely see this being a good archetype now. Let's see if they get Delirious this turn already. No Delirium in combat, so it just hits for 2. I think I do want to get Lost the Fear of Missing Out. It will give them Delirium, which is not ideal per se, but I think using my mana here is good, and they're so likely to get Delirium anyway that I think this is a good play. If they have... Okay, so they have an Overprotect, so... I see. That does not give them Delirium. I think I'm going to go for my Fortune here. It's maybe a little bit risky if they have, like, a Violent Urge. I think there is a chance I could die here. I will keep Charming Prince in case something happens to my Fortune that lets me do the Riddler combo a different way. But yeah, we'll see if they can get Delirium here and, you know, cause me trouble with a Violent Urge, so be it. I think I can't play too scared there. Okay, so it's just a Keen-Eyed Curator and another Beastie. Alright, let's warp a Riddler. I will shock in pre-combat because I want to be able to thwart the double block from them. I do want my Fortune to survive, and this is okay. I think I will go after the Fear of Missing Out. It does give them Delirium, but they have 2 Beasties now. They're almost certainly going to be able to get it next turn anyway. And the Fear of Missing Out is certainly a much scarier card. We have Enduring Innocence and a Charming Prince. I'm not thrilled about either of these cards, I don't think. I'm more interested in removal here or like more Quantum Riddlers. So yeah, let's bottom both these. And we find another Starfield Shepherd. They have a land, they can get this Curator to be a 7/7, which is, you know, pretty big. But if that's all they've got going on, I think I can handle it. Wicker Folk on top. Let's see here, can they get Delirium with 2 cards? No. They do need 3. Alright, and they just pass, so that's good for me. What do I want to go for here? There's an interesting line where I could find Mockingbird and copy their Curator. That would probably be pretty good. The issue with that, unfortunately, is that I won't be able to fight their Curator unless I were to sacrifice my Fortune here, which might actually not be that bad. Yeah, I actually like this idea, so... because I have another Fortune in hand anyway. So we're going to warp Starfield Shepherd, we're going to grab a Plains, and then we're going to blink Starfield Shepherd at end of combat, get the Mockingbird, and then we'll actually have a mana to use with our Keen-Eyed Curator. And I think I'll leave back the Riddler this turn. Seems a little bit precarious to not have a blocker here. Opponent goes for the block, that's fine. We were okay with this. We grab Mockingbird, copy their Curator, and I think... I don't know if this turn we'll be able to stop them from growing this, but maybe we can. Yeah, so if they go for instant and land, yeah, they should be able to do it anyway. But, so I'm just going to take the opportunity to get rid of their Fear of Missing Out. Alright, so we're probably going to take 8 damage here, but that's okay. Everything is coming in. I wonder if this means they found a Violent Urge, maybe? I think I'm happy to take the blocks here. Oh, right. I did not consider that Violent Urge on this would straight up be lethal. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that Violent Urge card is very scary. You have to always keep it in the back of your mind. Alright, so red-green aggro. Right now I'm thinking that these Inquisitors and these Flood Maws are not very good. Everything they play is pretty cheap anyway, so trying to disrupt them in this way just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think I do like Aegis Turtle, and I certainly like Exercise. And I'm pretty sure I like Beza as well. Rest in Peace is interesting. There's certainly a problem with Rest in Peace where sometimes you're just gonna die to their creatures anyway. So I'm honestly pretty hesitant to bring it in. But let's see if I have anything I think is a lot worse. And overall, not really. I think my cards are fine. I think I will skip on Rest in Peace for now. I am concerned about it just being a do-nothing. And, like, that could put me too far behind. So I'm gonna try and fight without it. Alright, let's board like this. On the play for game 2, let's see what we got. We have a Fortune, we have a Shepherd. We have a bit of interaction. This looks fine. I think we will passage on white here. Opponent has a tap land. I like to see that. I don't think I'll go for the shepherd here. Maybe it's okay too, though. What would I be trying to find? Like a Aegis turtle, maybe? Or a prodigy? Nah, I think it's better to wait. I'll just play starting town and pass. 2 patchwork besties for the opponents. It's pretty good, honestly. Scry 2, we will keep 1 land, but not the other. I think continuing to make our land drops is solid. Opponent has Marauding Mako, that's interesting. I feel like I don't see that in these decks very often. Opponent goes Wicker Folk attack, but I have a 2/4. I will block. Okay. Right. Huh? I don't know. I don't know what just happened there. I'm not gonna think about it too much. And we'll grab it. We'll grab a turtle here. It's turtle time. We can always get the prodigy with this trigger. I don't really want to play prodigy for 1. So we'll probably just save it for future turn. And honestly, I think land 6 is still just fine. I will cast a turtle. 0/5, pretty much impossible to attack through. An opponent is not making a lot of, not making a lot of progress on Delirium here. They just keep hitting artifact creatures, which is nice for me. Here is that Marauding Mako and an Inti that cannot do anything right now. Alright, I think I want to go for the Jill and just bounce their stuff and make life awkward for them. I could copy their Inti. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could copy their Inti, start growing my stuff, and that might be pretty decent. But they didn't want to see any more of that. And yeah, this is making me happy to not play the Rest in Peace. Like, Rest in Peace would have actually made no difference this game at all. In terms of upside, but like it would have been, you know, I wouldn't have had one of these creatures to play if I had the Rest in Peace instead. So yeah, I feel okay about not bringing in Rest in Peace. Game 3 on the draw. Pretty slow hand. It does have some interaction though. I think it's okay. I like the idea of the Spectral Restitching in this matchup. I think that could sort of get them in a lot of spots. They have a Beastie. I like drawing another exercise there. We'll play the starting town on turn 1. I think it's just, you know, we could try to save it to not take damage or something, but I don't know. Just seems a little too weird, honestly. And there's a Curator. Alright, we did not draw land. I think I will use exercise on this Beastie. Turn off their engine a little bit. And we have 2 of them, so feel okay about that. Opponent goes for a post-combat breakout. I don't know about that one. I imagine you would want to attack me with the 2-drop that you're going to put into play, but who am I to judge? Yeah, certainly seems like Inti on the battlefield would have been pretty good. And we did not hit our land, so doesn't feel great, but I think we just have to awkwardly warp Starfield Shepherd and grab a plains and go from there. If they grow their Curator with the Inti this turn, we will get to exercise it. Another breakout. Yeah, I'm not big on them developing this much. Yeah, FOMO is pretty scary. I think we might be a little too far behind here. We just, like, don't have a lot going on, and they have a lot going on, but we'll see. Maybe we can get there with, like, a big restitching play. No land again. So, yeah, I'm really not sure what to do exactly. I suppose I just have to play Jill, bounce the Curator, and then, yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go to, like, very low life total if they get Delirium here. I'm probably dead. I guess I could go for exercise on FOMO. Seems really sketchy too. Maybe my best play is just to Warp Riddler, pray for a land, and then, you know, flicker it. Honestly, maybe, yeah. I think these other lines are just dead to too many things. So, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Here we go, chat. Land on top. Maybe we'll be okay. Come on, come on, come on. Flood Farm Verge. Fable Passage. Plains. Oh, we hit the plains. Okay, okay. Maybe there's a chance. That was good. Now we have a big blocker. They're pretty far away from Delirium. I mean, of course, we still are under a lot of pressure from this Curator and this FOMO, but this is what we needed to happen. to have any sort of a chance here, I think. So let's see. And we're just going to combat. Alright, let's see. So do they have a way to get Delirium here? No, not so far. Found a Torch the Tower, that's not bad. So, I mean, they could certainly have an Overprotect here. If they have an Overprotect, I'm just actually just dead no matter what I do. Yeah, I can't be Overprotect here. Is that right? Let me think this through. So let's say I block here and here. This will be, you know, this will be my optimal block. Then if they go for Overprotect on the Inti and then torch my Charming Prince, yeah, I would die. If I blocked like this, same thing. Torch Overprotect kills me. So yeah, I can't beat Overprotect here. So I'm not even gonna think about it. Just gonna try and make the best block for me. Okay. So, alright, opponent did not see the line. That kills me here. So we can be thankful for that. Yeah, we're actually like not in a terrible spot now. We can exercise the FOMO. And then, yeah, I think we should go for Jill, right? Maybe we go for Fortune? Go for Jill, bounce this. They can put a counter on Inti. That's not great. If I play Fortune, they put a counter on Q9 Curator. I would go to 1. I'd be dead to a bunch of things, but... You know, I'm kind of already dead to a bunch of things. We're trying to set up a spot where we can use Spectral Restitching really well, so I think playing Jill gives us the best chance of surviving, which gives us the best chance to make a good play with that. I really think all it would take is like one good turn where we can make things happen to actually start taking over. We'll go to 2. Okay, now what? So it's certainly appealing to try and blink our Jill here. I kind of think they have a Torch the Tower in hand though, which makes me not too excited to do that. Another option is just gain 3 life with Charming Prince and then leave up the Restitching, which I don't dislike. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. It's kind of mid-ground. In the worst case, we can use Stitching just on their 2 creatures, so it's basically a, you know, kind of like a time walk sort of thing. Get my life total a little bit higher. Don't risk running into the Torch the Tower. Yeah, I think this makes sense. So they could get Delirium here. I have a creature, they have land, instant, and sorcery. So yeah, we're probably just restitching their creatures here. And then trying our very best to survive. They find an Obolt. Okay, so I'm going to go for double block on Inti. And then they'll probably establish Delirium, and I will just restitching it. And then we can play our Jill, bounce their Curator, reset it. If we draw land, we can also play Fortune. And then at that point, we actually won't be looking too bad. So, yeah. And luckily, they don't have enough mana here to get Delirium and then also have Overprotect up. So, this should be pretty good. I mean, they could have a Snakeskin Veil, I guess. But, again, when you can't play around something, it's just not worth thinking about. Just blink that. Survive the turn. Trade for the Inti, hopefully. Oh, okay. So, it looks like maybe they do. Royal Treatment. Alright, so we are dead here. Unfortunately, that was their last card, so what are you gonna do? Like I said, there was no effective way for us to play around it, so it's alright. Good games. Loading into match 3 against Ifrit Kin, and we are on the draw, playing blue-white blink. We are 1-1 so far, and this hand looks pretty good. We'll start on our tap land. It's another Sacred Foundry. I wonder if this is another burn deck, in which case, you know, Charming Prince, pretty awesome. Looks more like it might be control. So let's just go for Starfield Shepherd, I think. I do like our Lightstall Inquisitors against a control deck. And opponent just counters, that's fine. Alright, let's test the waters. If they have another No More Lies. If they don't, this Innocence could be pretty good. They do have black in their deck, so they're probably playing Inevitable Defeat. They are indeed. But that is okay. Alright, I like this. Let's go for the Warp Shepherd. We're gonna grab a Plains and then blink it with Charming Prince. And then with the second trigger, I think we'll grab the Ingenious Prodigy. Seems like a decent one against control. And yeah, hopefully from here on, we're just gonna be playing a bunch of threats every turn and trying to kill them. I love having a good manland in this matchup, absolutely. Let's start with attacking, and then I think this turn we're just going to play Prodigy for as much as we can. We do get pretty got by a board wipe, but that's why I don't want to commit the Riddler and the other Prince. Opponent goes for Get Lost and End Step, so maybe they don't have a board wipe. That would be nice. Unfortunately, we have 2 Get Losts of our own that we don't have much to do with, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Alright, and do I want to just fire up Anchorage here? I think I do, yeah. I think I just want to fire up Anchorage and try to put counters on it. If they have another Get Lost, so be it. I think this is our best path to victory is just, you know, load up our manland and try to kill them with it. I'm gonna leave Jill on top once because I want the second counter, but then I will bin it because I don't think Jill is super helpful here. And yeah, they're down to 7. This Anchorage is now a turn 2 clock, a 2-turn clock, so that's nice. They have a Meringue River region. Interesting. Well, that's something to target with our Get Lost, so that's not too bad, honestly. I will just do that, and then I think I could go for Shepherd here. Actually, yeah, I like that idea. Let's go for Shepherd, grab a Light Stall, and then blink the Shepherd again. Probably grab another Light Stall. And what this does is it sets up another good board state for us while not committing our Riddler into a board wipe. And it also gets 2 Light Stalls in our hand, which I think even at this stage of the game are still pretty helpful. See if opponent does have that board wipe. Shock down to 5, so maybe they have a Jeskai Revelation. That card's pretty good. They do. Interesting they're just going for it now. But, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty good, so makes sense. What can we do here? I'm going to start by mapping onto Charming Prince. Getting an attack in would be good here. Another Light Stall doesn't seem that inspiring. Let's attack for 3. They do just chump. And then, yeah, let's, probably gonna do the Riddler Charming Prince thing. It's not hard to see how much our counter spells on our board are gonna help us here. And we'll see if they have another Revelation. Another Revelation would probably be really hard to beat. I think a board wipe would be fine. Let's just see what they got. Maybe they have nothing, you know? Could happen. It is another Jeskai Revelation. Not great for us, I have to say. They are attacking. It's pretty aggressive. Interesting. I mean, we'll continue to fight. Like, we have a lot of cards in hand and stuff. Just gonna play my things. It's nice that, like, every single one of my creatures finds other cards, you know? Their life total is still relatively low, so we have that going for us. I would probably put us at around, I don't know, 20% to win, 25%, something like that. As a defeat. I think I'll go for a Get Lost on a Monk here. It's starting to get to be a little much. And honestly, getting cards out of our hand is just pretty good when we have Riddler. Let's see. Certainly going to attack for at least 4. And then after that, what I'm considering is Starfield Shepherd for Mockingbird, Mockingbird the Charming Prince, and then Blink the Shepherd again. In that case, we do have enough mana to fire up Anchorage, so let's do that. Hit for 6. Grab Mockingbird, and then we will have just one more target for our Shepherd that we will go and grab. And do I want to use a map this turn? Yeah, I think so. Let's map onto our Anchorage once again. Okay, found another land, which is pretty unfortunate, considering we're trying to get cards out of our hand, but it's okay. And let's see, we are at 8. You know, their spells do deal quite a bit of damage to us, so we could just die, you know, the old-fashioned way. These 4-color control decks have always played, like, a variable number of Jeskai Revelations. Sometimes there's 3 or 4. Sometimes there's just 1, sometimes there's 2, so Yeah, I really just don't know what to expect. It's good to know that they have Mistrise Village. I mean, I don't think it's gonna stop me from bringing in my counter spells, but I guess it is something to keep in mind at least. Okay, I'm gonna concede to the third Jessica Revelation. That's gonna be too much to overcome. Alright, so, sideboarding against control. I mean, pretty straightforward, right? We're gonna take out our interaction. Jill seems pretty bad. Probably you don't want to play all these Get Lost, and then we're gonna bring in Elspeth, we're gonna bring in counter spells, and yeah, that should be pretty good. On the play for game 2 against control. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I like that we have Fountain Port here, so I'm gonna keep. That land is really good. We have one of our counter spells. Like, I don't think this is the best hand ever, but it's certainly fine. Opponent does likely have a counter spell here. Probably just hold my fortune in that case, right? We're just gonna play Fountain Port next turn and try and gain a bunch of an advantage like that. Yeah, I don't see any reason to rush into anything. They do have the village here. Kind of annoying, but oh well. Kind of like Lightstall here. Probably just gonna play that and leave up Fountain Port again. Oh, opponent has Cursed Recording. Interesting. So for those who don't know, whenever you cast Enter a sorcery spell, put a time counter, then it has 7 or more, it deals 20 to you. And then you can tap it to copy instants and sorceries. So it's definitely pretty powerful with like Jeskai Revelation and stuff. I mean, one issue with it that you're seeing is that they don't have any red mana at the moment, and they need 2 to cast it, so, you know, certainly there's a payoff, or a trade-off. Opponent has tapped out, so that could be good news for us, right? Unless they play Split Up, they won't be able to make a board wipe uncounterable this turn. So I certainly like the plan of just committing. And I like a Starfield Shepherd here, absolutely. Opponent just goes for a stock up. I am just going to let that resolve. Maybe I shouldn't have. I guess I could have countered it. I'm not sure. I mean, what they're planning to do is just tap this and cast Day of Judgment. So I could have countered that to try and keep them off, you know, land 6 and also the Day of Judgment if they don't have it already. But it kind of is what it is. So I think my plan is to Shepherd, Blink Shepherd, and then cast another Lightstall Inquisitor. In which case I can tap this Fountain Port. Yeah, we can just get a bunch of stuff here. Don't really want 2 lands there. And then how much do we commit here is the question. Yeah, I'll play the Mockingbird. I'm fine with it. They have to have an untapped land 6. They have to have the Day of Judgment. Has to not be Ultima. Oh, they go for the Day of Judgment, but they did not tap their village. Although, I guess they could just have a normalize, but that seems weird. Like, why would you do it this way? I don't know. Oh, okay. Huh. A bit surprising there. Yeah, I guess they weren't expecting me to have counter magic of my own. So they did have what they needed to have, but they didn't play it correctly. I don't know what to make of that. Resubmit. On the draw for game 3, our hand is pretty mid. But we have Anchorage. Starfield Shepherd's pretty good. Yeah, I'll keep it. It's fine. Honestly, against a control deck, like, the important things are hitting your land drops and also top decking 1-drops when you don't have anything to play. That's also really important, so good thing I did that. Not going to cast anything into a likely counter spell. They go for Lightning Helix. I don't care. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still don't want to cast anything. They have the Mistrized Village again. Oh, so now we draw Elspeth. So now casting things sounds pretty good. They let me have my Shepherd. I'm going to grab another Lightstall. I like this little guy. I think he's pretty good. And then just pass the turn. I would no more lies on the consult. Oh, they're inevitable defeating the warped creature. Didn't really expect that to happen, but okay. I don't know. I think I'll probably just cast another couple creatures here. We just want to save Elspeth for a turn that it's likely to resolve. Charming Prince doesn't seem too bad. I accept. And we'll just keep No More Lies up. I'd like to be able to counter like a stock up or something. Opponent just has a bunch of inevitable defeats. That's fine. Okay. Let's go for Shepherd. Find a Plains. And we'll cast the Charming Prince. Maybe they have yet another inevitable defeat. I don't know. It's all good either way. Alright. And I think we just find planes again to be able to go Elspeth normalized, but honestly, maybe that's not the right move. Yeah, actually I've changed my mind. I'm gonna go for the Prodigy. I think I don't want to risk getting flooded here, because once we have 7 lands, every land after that is pretty meaningless. Go for a Pyroclasm. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. If we wanted to tap out here, I think that'd be cool. They did not. Let's cast this guy for 3. Okay, so I guess they have a get lost? Nope. They... okay. I don't know what's going on. Why did they tap their Misride Village? What is happening? Someone explain this to me. I don't get it. I'm gonna cast 2 Lightstall Inquisitors. That's almost 1 Lightstall Inquisitor for every card they have in their hand, which is pretty funny. They did have a No More Lies. Huh. Alright, I'm just gonna pass. So let's see if they're gonna go for Uncounterable Curse Recording. That kind of makes sense. That's fine, nothing for me to do about it. I mean, we'll see what they've got in hand here. I guess if they have a Jeskai Revelation, that would be pretty bad. I could like, find out, you know? Actually, yeah, I think this makes sense. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna grab another Lightstall Inquisitor, cast that. If their last card's Jeskai Revelation, I can leave up 2 No More Lies to counter both copies of it. And it's Day of Judgment. Okay, interesting. So that's fine. It's good to know about that ahead of time, for sure. And they're deciding not to commit here. Interesting. I mean, yeah, I'll take my last card off this, for sure. What have they drawn? Have they drawn a Jeskai Revelation? Okay, it seems like that's what they've drawn. Oh, inevitable defeat. Okay. That is fine. I mean, it's a bit painful, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. It's just okay. Gosh, I'd really like to go for Elspeth here. Yeah, I just will. I'm gonna avoid shocking. I know I could shock to be able to just pay for this No More Lies, but I'm afraid of them drawing another inevitable defeat or a lightning helix and just killing me. So I'm going to opt for the slightly less optimal play. And we'll see. This is a big turn for them. If they draw a burn spell, I'll be dead. Okay. I drew a get lost. That's fine. They are at 4 on this curse recording. Like, that could come back to bite them. Let's go for Warped Riddler. Let's go for Charming Prince. Try to establish our board again. And I mean, like, our counterspell doesn't really do anything here. Frankly, I'm just gonna play Charming Prince and gain 3 life. And then, yeah, I just think leaving up mana here accomplishes nothing, so let's just use some map tokens. And we'll see what they draw. If they ever draw a Jeskai Revelation, I'm gonna be in big trouble. Okay, I drew a land this turn. That's some good news for me. Let's fire up the Anchorage and get to the killing. Hit them down to 11, so they are dead next turn. Alright. What you got? Not good enough. Cool. That was a fun match. I thought our deck played out pretty well there. Kind of nice to see. Loading into match 4 against Thenlon, the Bargler. I don't know what that means, but alright. Our hand is pretty lackluster. I think I will mulligan this in the blind. And yeah, this looks more reasonable to me. I think we'll put back Fable Passage in case the Fountain Port is really good. Secluded Courtyard on Bird and Asaz Chocobo. Okay, interesting. So is this kind of like a dedicated birds deck then? That's sort of the impression that I'm getting. Yeah, seems like it. I mean, yeah. It's kind of scary. Got 2 of this guy. I'm sure they have the Traveling Chocobo and whatever else. Ooh, a Sinkhole Surveyor is a bird. That's cool. I think we'll go for Jill here. Opponent has land 3. Valley Quest Caller does, in fact, grow your birds. This is crazy. Never would have expected this. Okay. So what do I do here? Not totally sure. I think I just passed the turn, in all honesty. Spectral Restitching seems pretty decent here. Can reset these chocobos. Alright, yeah, I mean, this kind of works out. We get to save our Jill, reset the chocobos, and then Jill will come back and we can bounce something again. Not terrible. And I suppose I'll just grab a plains and leave up mana this turn. Don't know exactly how we're going to, you know, kind of overcome this, but Quantum Riddler is a good place to start for sure. At the current moment, it does block everything. I'm gonna go for the Get Lost on the Bartz and Boko. I prefer that to taking 4 damage here. They do find land 4. Can they just pass? Interesting. So I wonder, is there some kind of flash thing they could have? I really honestly don't know. I am gonna use my Flood Maw though, because I just want to get cards out of my hand for Riddler. Like now I'm guaranteed to be able to draw 2 with the Riddler, which I think is decent. So yeah, let's do that. I don't know what they could be holding up here. I'm not overly familiar. Ah, I see, okay. I was gonna say, I'm not overly familiar with all the birds in the format. Looks like Aven Interrupter was the answer. I mean, it's pretty good this turn, but it does allow me to play my Quantum Riddler for a very cheap next turn, which could be interesting. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. That might be too much. We'll see. Play our Riddler, draw 2 cards. I mean, okay. Yeah, make another blocker here. Not bad. Their hand might just be a bunch of Sinkhole Surveyors. So we have a Get Lost on the Quest Caller, which is pretty good. They're flooded on Sinkhole Surveyors. So everything is attacking. Let's think this through. So I'm gonna kill the Quest Caller. Well, I mean, I could not kill the Quest Caller. No. No, killing the Quest Caller makes the most sense. So yeah, so in that case, we have to block a flyer. And then we have to just chump, Get Lost the Quest Caller. We are at 1, but Charming Prince can gain life. I'm not counting us out just yet. Not just yet. Ooh, the Goose Mother. I love that card. Yeah, I mean, okay, well. So you can go to 4. You can go to 4. You could play a Prodigy X equals 4. So that would give us 2 good blocks and then 1 bad block. Only problem is if they can hit 2 spells off their maps, I will die. So I think it's actually just safest to go for Shepherd here. I mean, we have a Mockingbird of our own. I don't know if it does anything right now. Yeah, not exactly. But it could be good later. Let's grab it. And then, yeah, we'll go for Charming Prince. We'll gain 3 life. And we'll hope. I mean, we can definitely survive this turn. Yeah, I have a Traveling Chocobo on top. That doesn't seem too bad. Right. Huh. Honestly, this doesn't seem that great for them, right? I mean, I'm at 1 again. So. Ooh. Restitching is very good. Yeah, Restitching is excellent. Just have to think exactly what to do with it. So, I mean, I'm probably just gonna pass, block the Chocobo, and then Restitching their other creatures, which would cost me 3 mana, so I reckon that means I could cast this Prodigy for 3. I mean, now we're the ones that are going to be drawing just like a ton of cards every turn, so I think it's not that insane that we could win this. Yeah, I mean, they got another bunch of creatures, but their attacks are going to work out poorly for them if they go for them. Probably it would be smart not to go for them, but they are going for them. Yeah, so I get to go block here, and then Restitching on these 2. They get to eat both their things. I'm still at 1 life. I've been at 1 life for like 10 minutes. But I don't know. We seem to be doing okay, honestly. Now we can go for Jill. We can bounce, I don't know, this guy. Then we can Mockingbird this guy. Nah, that probably wasn't the right one to go for. It's fine though. Mockingbird for 4. Are they gonna copy my Riddler? That kind of makes sense. I'm gonna Get Lost it in response. Oh, they can Scry, that's okay. But then I will Get Lost the Riddler, stop them from drawing 2 cards off of it. So what exactly does Jill do on the backside? I should probably read this. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Tap all lands your opponent's control and then flip it back. Okay, interesting. Doesn't seem too relevant, but it might come up here. I'm not sure. I wonder why they tapped their black mana there. They have a Bartz and Boko. Okay. Go after Jill. Okay. Yes, I would like to draw even more cards. Another Quantum Riddler. Alright, Charming Prince is the kind of guy I want to see. So they have 2 sinkholes or rares. I think it's time to attack, right? Like, when am I going to start attacking if not right now? Yeah, get in there. Alright, they drew another Mockingbird. So here we go again. This is so interesting. It's just a wild game altogether. Okay, so we have to make sure we stay safe a bit here. They now have 3 flying attackers. I think we are gonna flip Jill, right? So that costs 5 mana, and I'm gonna go Charming Prince, double Light Squall. Probably gain 3 life from the Prince. Guess I could also flicker Riddler, because the plan is to flip Jill and then attack with Riddler. I think. Yeah, so maybe at that point it makes more sense to blink the Riddler. Get to draw another card, which is always fun. I mean, we'll be dead to like another Bartz and Boko or something, but I don't think there was anything I could do about that this turn. So 4th Sinkhole Surveyor. And a Traveling Chocobo. Okay. Play our land tapped. Draw 3 cards on end step. Exciting times. This is so wild. I truly have no idea how this is going to end. Opponent has a whole lot of birds though. They're probably just searching for another Bartz. How many Get Losts are left in my deck? 1, okay. Yeah, we'll go unblockable on the Riddler again. And then, yeah, I mean, be careful with the starting towns. Be careful with this Fountain Port. Let's see what we can find. Those don't really do anything for me. Ooh, I like that. Alright, yeah. We'll go in with the Riddler again. And, yeah, pass the turn. They have 3 flying attackers, but we do have 3 flying blockers. We have this anchorage down here. Even if they find Bartz and Boko... No, I mean, that would probably kill us still, right? It would trigger, like, 4 billion times. Oh, and they did find it. So... that is a bird, so it's gonna trigger 3 times. I think we are dead. Well, let me just see. let me make sure. So they kill all my flyers. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that does us in. Right? Kill the flyers. I could bounce one thing, I could block another, but I'm still gonna die. I mean, we're gonna let it all happen. There's like a chance they attack wrong, you know? Because if they attack with the, like, any of their ground creatures, I do get to gain 2 life, and then I could potentially survive. Oh, but now I wouldn't even survive. Okay. Yeah, okay. Wow, what a crazy game. In terms of sideboarding, I don't even know. Like, Elspeth, I guess? Yeah, Elspeth does seem pretty good. Beza seems nice. I think like Flood Maul's not that good. I think Lightstall's not that good. Do I want like Exercise? I don't really think so. Yeah, I guess this is how we're gonna sideboard. Sure. We have no lands in our opener. Gonna mulligan. Oh, his hand's pretty bad. Yeah, we have Quantum Riddler in our deck. We can go to 5. It's okay. Yeah, look at this. This is fine. Yeah. So I think. I mean, this is not that exciting either. I want to keep both these Get Lost. I basically want to keep all the cards in my hand, but I have to put 2 of them back. So it's probably just like 1 Get Lost and then the Starfield Shepherd, and just really gotta hope that we draw lands naturally. Alright, we have successfully drawn a land. So this is good news. Sinkhole Surveyor is probably okay to live for now. Nah, that's okay too. I considered killing their Saw's Chocobo in response to this so they couldn't copy anything, but I think that would be a little bit silly. Hang on, I should do a little bit of math here. So I'm gonna, if I were to get lost something, I would have 3 cards. I'd draw to 4, play my land, play my Riddler. Yeah, I would never be able to trigger it anyway. So yeah, we'll just go to my turn. And we'll blink our Riddler. I don't know. I don't know if this will be good enough, but it's what we've got. So here we go. Okay. So the good news is they didn't have a Bartz and Boko there. That could have really messed us up. I'm gonna go for my double spell this turn. These don't seem like excellent cards. Now we're looking for, like, I guess maybe Elspeth to try and just go over the top of them. Traveling Chocobo is pretty frightening. Yeah. I wonder if they just... Yeah, they should probably just attack with everything, right? Oh, they attack with nothing. Interesting. Alright. I mean, it's fine by me. Beza. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think we'll just go for Quantum Riddler number 2 here. We get to draw 3 cards off of it, which is pretty nuts. I mean, their Chocobos are about to get bigger than our Riddlers, so I don't know what we're gonna do when that happens, but... yeah, I don't know. The answer might be we are going to die when that happens. Whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards, and you may put one of them into your hand. Ooh. Wow. Pretty cool. Oh boy. So I think we gotta trade for this big bird and then probably just jump. I guess it's arguable I should have jumped with Fortune instead because I have 2 more in my hand. Definitely pretty reasonable, probably. I'm missing out on a treasure here by playing my land first. Whatever will I do without that treasure? And yeah, I think I will just do this Fortune thing. Yeah, it's okay. Back to having 2 Riddlers, I mean, okay, oh, alright, you know what? This might not be as bad as it appears. We've drawn an Elspeth, which is really good. We've also drawn Spectral Restitching. These are the kind of cards that can just blow them out of the water, so, you know, don't count me out just yet. They did not hit any lands off their Choco. That's good news. So I think it's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna... yeah, this is actually a solid block for us to eat 2 of their things. Sure, all good. Yeah, so I think the plan is pretty straightforward. We're just gonna attack with our Riddlers and then try to Spectral Restitching them out of the game. We will get got by, like, Aven Interrupter, but I don't think I'm really at the liberty of trying to do anything about that, so... Fortunately, with the Elspeth, we are 1 damage off of killing them. But yeah, here we go. Attack for 8. Play the Restitching. Do I want to play something? Yeah, I probably should, right? Probably should. Play a blocker, that way I'm not immediately dead to even interrupter on my restitching. Okay, they did have the interrupter, short. And then, should probably go for it on my turn, right? So that they can't interrupt her again. Yeah. Because this says that return the exile cards under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step, which will be my opponent's end step. So it removes their creatures for the turn. Oh, do they have some other kind? Oh. Alright, they had some other kind of counterspell, so I am dead. GG's, bird opponent. So there you have it, 2-2 with our blue-white blink deck. Yes, we only got to play 4 matches because for some reason they were the longest matches of all time. I guess it makes sense when you ban such powerful and snowbally cards out of the format that it's gonna get a lot slower, so it's kind of interesting to get a taste of that in our first video in the new format. I didn't mind this deck. I thought it was doing some pretty interesting things. Fortune and Charming Prince honestly impressed more than I thought, as did Lightstall Inquisitor. I felt like, in particular against that control opponent, the Lightstalls were putting quite a lot of pressure on them in the early game, and then also making it difficult for them to interact in the late game. So that was kind of impressive there. If I were to retool this deck, I would probably want some kind of board wipe in our sideboard. We played against a couple go-wide creature decks, and having something like a split up would have been super, super helpful there. So that's something to keep in mind for the future. Aegis Turtle, I mean, you know, he's a good boy, but I don't actually think he's very powerful. So maybe you make that swap going forward. Quantum Riddler is of course busted as always. Honestly, I'm sort of surprised this card is still in the format. I thought it would get banned alongside everything else. Starfield Shepherd was cool. I liked the Prodigy when we went for him. The Mockingbird also pretty solid. And Spectral Restitching had a decent showing too, a couple of games there. It just sort of won the game on the spot when we did it for a lot, so that was cool. Didn't mind that at all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, you can expect more videos like it every single week. Next week, we will get avatar cards to play with, so that is very, very exciting. I plan to have yet another brew for you on next Monday. So yeah, see you in the next one.